podcast, scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, they are the Internet Podcast.
Yeah, we are back. Ring Ropes and Turnbuckle Podcast. It's your boys, the tag team champions of the world. Hey, man. Y'all see the topic of discussion, man. What's your thoughts, Dub, on night 1 and night 2 of WWE SummerSlam 2025? What did you think?
I thought night 2 was better than night 1. It was kind of like WrestleMania, you know what I'm saying? Where night 2 was better than night 1, except for like the main events. The main events on both nights actually I thought was pretty good. People don't give Gunther and Punk enough credit for that match they put on. Like that was an old school wrestling match. Nothing but two meaty men, like Big E likes to say, two meaty men just getting after it in the ring. And you know what? I appreciated it. I really did. SummerSlam, to me, felt more like a WrestleMania than WrestleMania felt like WrestleMania this year. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I missed the opening match because I got my times mixed up. So I missed the Roman and Jay versus the Bronze match. But from everything that I gathered, it was a good way to start off SummerSlam.
Nah, it was a relatively good match. Like Roman took a hit for Jay, you know, when this guy was coming through with the spear. He missed and hit Roman instead because he pushed Jay out the way. So Roman showing his loyalty to his family for a change, because if you recall, way back when these things occurred, who was taking the hit? The right-hand man, the right-hand oos, main event Jay was taking the hit. So, you know, he kind of returned the favor this one and took the hit from Braun Breaker. And he thought he was Michael Jordan for a moment when he ran to the ropes and jumped over and nearly cleared everyone. He barely hit them, but it still looked cool to watch, you know. But if he didn't know how to land, trust and believe, he would have cracked his noggin. But it definitely was cool to watch, you know, somebody of that stature jump that high and clear the ropes like that. What were you going to say?
It looked like he turned that into a bit of a move when he saw that he was going to go over him. It looked like once he decided that, oh, shoot, I'm going over him, it's almost like he flipped over right as he got to them and grabbed Braun Breaker by the back of the head and did a little, I guess what they call that, a blockbuster. Mm-hmm. You know, when they flip over and grab, it looked kind of like that.
Yeah, it definitely did. It definitely looked like that. Well, you know, when you got no control over your body at that point in time in the air, you kind of do have to improvise, you know what I mean? So the minute that you do gain some sort of control, it's good to improvise on the fly, because I feel like if he didn't do that, he probably would have injured himself for sure. Like, you know, he kind of did, but I don't know. That might have been him just selling. But he kind of did, but I'm thinking he was selling an injury and not really injured. But I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be wrong about that. But
you know, I figured after Roman and Jay won that match, he'd have got his Jordans back. But instead, he got another pair taken tonight. Bruh, come on. Stop getting your shoes taken. You ain't in prison, bruh.
Yo, Hey, yo, this dude Bronson Reed taking Roman Reigns for his commissary. Every single time he see Roman Reigns, he taking it for his commissary, yo. Like, hey, that deserves the Shao Kahn laugh. Yeah, he taking it for his commissary, man. Every time he turn around, he taking it for his shoes. Hey, yo, Bronson Reed gonna have a whole Jordan closet, all courtesy of the tribal chief.
Like, bro, you gotta stop getting your shoes taken. I mean, I hope when he comes back from filming this movie, I guess they said around Survivor Series he'll be back from filming his movie. I hope he gets his get back and actually gets his J's back.
Yeah, he better use the powers of Akuma, because he is playing Akuma in the new Street Fighter. Yeah. It's him and Cody Rhodes is in it too. Cody Rhodes is playing Guile.
Yep.
So they both are going to be away for a bit. I don't know how Cody Rhodes plan to do his, because he's the champ. So, you know, do you think he's probably going to end up losing the title to Orton at Clash of the Castle or whatever they're going to do? You think that's going to happen?
So is that supposed to be his next match?
I don't know. I seen somebody post something like that. I guess they were fantasy booking, but I seen something like that on Facebook where it seemed like it's going to be Clash of the Castle and it's going to be him versus Orton again. I don't see why they would do that again, but...
Well, it's the same reason why last year, after last year's King of the Ring, Gunther beat Orton, and then once Gunther got the belt, they ran it back. So it'd just be like doing that again.
Yeah, it seems like it. But yeah, opener match was pretty good. What was next on the card? What was next?
I think it was the women's tag team, Alexa and Charlotte versus Roxanne and Raquel.
Okay. That match wasn't that bad neither. It was okay.
It really wasn't. I mean, since Charlotte's been back, that's probably been her better match. And needless to say, I feel like until she can really get back in her rhythm, putting her with Alexa Bliss was probably a smart move.
Yeah, I think from what I understand and from what I've read, the reason for them putting her with Alexa Bliss is to get her back in the graces of the fans. And since Alexa Bliss is one of the fan favorites, they figured they can draw the fans back in by lining her up with Alexa, which is working in her favor because people definitely like the pairing of the two. So, yeah.
Yeah, it is absolutely working for her. Like, she got a pop at SummerSlam. She got a pop at Raws. Like, it's working. I mean, for people that say that Triple H don't know what he's doing, I mean, there's some instances where he shows that he's a lot smarter than what people give him credit for, because doing exactly what you said is actually working.
Yeah, I mean, let's be for real here. Nobody's perfect. You know, he has his times where you be like, what's going on here? But he definitely has his times where, you know, I mean, he's doing the right thing by the viewers. I will say this, right? As much as we criticize the WWE product, when they're doing something right, we have to learn to give them credit too. We cannot just be so critical on the product and don't see what they're doing that's right. You know what I'm saying? If we can't see what they're doing is right, we're always going to see what they're doing is wrong. Then why watch the product in the first place? You know what I'm saying? And that's what I feel like the IWC has to work on. Like, don't be so critical on the product and not see what they're doing that's good. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing like with AEW. And they do this a lot with AEW too. They are so critical on the product, they don't see what the product is doing that is right. So when they're doing something right, they always deem to see it as being wrong when it's really right. So if we could just look past that and just focus on the two products at hand with the AEW and with the WWE and what they're doing that is good, then we could kind of just like stop being so nitpicky. Like, like I know we'll be the first to tell you, like, if it's something that they're doing that's wrong, we just call it like we see it. But we got to be able to call it like we see it when they're doing something right. And I definitely think that was the right call, so.
That's the one thing about us as a podcast is that we're going to call out the stuff that needs to be called out, good, bad, or indifferent. We don't care if it's WWE, TNA, AEW, NXT, whatever. If it's bad, we're going to talk about it. If it's good, we're going to give them credit where credit's due. So, I mean, we're not one of them people that's just going to be negative all the time to one company and be positive the other time to the other companies. It's like, that's not how we roll. And that's why we work.
Yeah. I think it's very important to be non-biased. Like, call what you see. Don't like, I could have the most disdain for a company, but if they're doing what they're supposed to do, I'm going to just, I'm going to say big ups to them. You know what I mean? And this is why I say I can't hate a company. I just can't do it because there's too much wrestling out there. I can't wish a company to die. I just can't do it. What I can tell you is that if they're messing up, I'm going to let you know they messing up. What I can tell you is that if I don't feel like watching it, I'm going to tell you I don't feel like watching it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I say I don't want to watch for like a month because of what they doing, I'm going to just not watch for a month because I have done it. You know what I mean? There's been times where I ain't watched WWE for like 2 months because it's just whatever they were doing, I didn't like it. And I just stuck with AEW. And I was fine with that, And then when they started picking up the pace, I seen a highlight or two. Okay, I'll turn them back on now. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's just how I move. That's what I do.
I mean, this. I went 2 weeks without watching any wrestling at all. It's just, number one, it's just so much of it. So I went 2 weeks without it. I mean, and I went a whole month without SmackDown. I had got to where I was watching Raw and I was watching Dynamite, but I had quit watching SmackDown. But anyways, that's beyond the point. The point is that when we feel like something is good, we should say so, just like you said. And what Triple H has, the decision that he made to put Charlotte with Alexa to pretty much rehabilitate her standing with the fans was an excellent move because it's absolutely working. The fans are behind not only her, but Alexa and them in that whole "we're not friends" thing. Like, the people are behind that. Like, now they're chanting "hug it out, hug it out, hug it out." It's like, this is good stuff.
Yeah, and I hope it continues to, flourish that way because they seem to be a good pairing. I would like to see where it goes, and think of a good tag team name for them. Make them a solid team. Let's see how far they could go with their run.
Now, on the other hand, what do you think is going to happen with Roxanne, Raquel, and Liv Morgan when she comes back?
Well, I definitely think there's going to be a falling out in the Judgment Day. I definitely think it's going to be a falling out. I do think sooner or later Judgment Day will break up and they will all go their separate ways. For real this time. Not the first time they broke up and then they just ended up just kicking out Rhea and Damian. No, I think they're going to break up for real this time, and they all going to go their separate ways. So when I think it does happen, I think the one that will benefit the most from this breakup is Dominic Mysterio because you could already see the layers starting to peel off. You could already see a little bit of it here and there. It's starting to peel off little by little, and he's starting to do his own side missions. As we know, he's over there fig-niggling with AAA at the moment, and rumor has it they plan on making Dominic Mysterio the face of AAA. Now, I know what you people are going to say. Him being the face of AAA. Listen. I can honestly say as a wrestling fan, I don't know everybody in AAA, okay? So I know me as what I've been watching wrestling for like I don't know how many years. But it's been a lot. Trust and believe. He said 50. Okay. Okay. 50. It's actually 42 years I've been watching wrestling, but I don't look 40. I don't
You've
look
been
40.
watching wrestling longer than I've been alive, bro.
Oh my God. Don't let that guy fool you. We in the same age bracket, okay? Don't let him fool you, okay? Don't let him fool you. Yeah, but yeah, they plan on making him the face of AAA, and we don't know all the AAA wrestlers. Most people don't. I mean, there's probably some that do, but most people don't know all the AAA wrestlers. So the best way to put eyes on that product is to get a notable figure and put him in the spotlight, and then that way people are going to want to know who is Dominic Mysterio, not who is Dominic Mysterio, but where is AAA. You know what I'm saying?
They could also do the same thing with either Penta or Ray Phoenix, because they already popular down there in Mexico. So
exactly,
they could also do it with one of them two also. And probably, there's a handful of guys you got. I think you and I talked about it earlier. Santos Escobar, there's Dom, there's Ray Phoenix, there's Penta, there's Andrade. They have a host of guys that they could make the face of that company until us as more, I don't know how to put it, but us that really don't know AAA can get to know some of these wrestlers. Because right now, all we know is Vikingo, Killer Clown, and Mr. Iguana.
Well, the reason why we know those folks is because those are the most charismatic figures on that brand, and they stand out. And they're probably
and they've been on WWE television.
Yes, they've been on WWE television, and they're actually excellent wrestlers. Like Mr. Iguana, fabulous. Killer Clown, fabulous. You know what I'm saying? Like these guys, regardless of their look, they can really go. They could put on a show. You know what I mean? We've seen Mr. Iguana plenty of times on television, on actual primetime TV. So we know what he's capable of. And we actually seen Killer Clown a few times on WWE television. So we know their capabilities. I do think that if they were deciding to put some more belts on some of the WWE guys, I think Penta would be a good one. And I do think Santos Escobar will be a good one. The only thing is that, and I do know this from hearing people talk about it, is that some of these guys never worked with AAA before. Even though they're of Mexican descent, they never worked with AAA before. They only worked for CMLL. Oh, yeah. So, I don't know if that would be some sort of issue or whatever, because I know AAA and CMLL are rivals. So I don't know if there'll be some sort of issue, but those are only, there is some guys that are on WWE Rocks that hasn't worked for AAA before, but, yeah. What was next?
So I believe the next one would have been Randy Orton, Jelly Roll, Drew McIntyre, and Logan Paul. Let me say something. I have to give credit where credit is due, because I was critical of them putting Jelly Roll out there instead of somebody who needed some more airspace, right? And I still believe that. I still believe that they could have used somebody else, like, I don't know, maybe, I know we like to talk about him a lot, but Carmelo Hayes could use that airspace. You know what I mean? There's other wrestlers that are on Raw and SmackDown that could have used that airspace, but for nothing, hey, we got to give Jelly Roll some credit, bro. Like, he went out there, he took bumps, he even ate the pin, so Randy Orton wouldn't have to. Like, what celebrity is going to come in and eat the pin like that?
Well, I know Bad Bunny did pretty good on his debut as a wrestler. He did pretty good. We haven't seen him as of late, but I heard that he takes wrestling real serious, and I've also heard that he's planning on making a comeback, and I've also heard that when he's done with music, that he's going to take up wrestling full time. So that'll be interesting to see on when he's ever going to be done music, but and wrestle full time. But we'll see. That's just a rumor. But yeah, I definitely think Jelly Roll did his thing. He did his thing. I was very surprised on how fluent he was in the ring. A few of the things that he did, for his size, I was very impressed. I'm not saying he was perfect. I'm just saying that for somebody that, just did maybe a few weeks of training, a few months of training, he was actually pretty good.
I think I saw something that said that it was The Undertaker and Jacob Fatu that was helping train him.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool.
Absolutely.
You notice he did the Black Hole Slam. He got that from Abyss. He got that from Abyss. It seemed like Abyss's mystique has been sprinkled all over these wrestlers. Jasper Troy, it looks like a black version of Abyss. The way he does everything in the ring, you know what I'm saying? So, shout out to Abyss. Abyss out there spawning up a bunch of doppelgangers.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. What was next?
But hold on, just real quick.
Okay.
Other than giving a shout out to Jelly Roll, I thought it was a well put together match. We got to see some up and down from Jelly Roll. I mean, he took some hits, bro. He took some hits. Like, I know the match isn't just about Jelly Roll, but I mean, just like we were just saying just a few minutes ago, if something good happened, we gotta call it out. And Jelly Roll was, bro, I gained some respect for him in the wrestling sense. Now, as far as music goes, I don't listen to his music, but as for a wrestling sense, I gained some respect. I mean, because he took some hits. I mean, how many times is this man gonna get Claymored?
Hey, listen. He ate the table when Logan Paul dove off that ring and landed on Jelly Roll. I was like, yeah, that's it for him. That he's done. Jelly Roll did the slowest walk in WWE history just to go to the back. I said, yo, man, this guy could have been in the back 5-10 minutes ago. He ain't going nowhere. He's not going anywhere. They did the slowest walk ever. And then Logan kept antagonizing him. Just messing with him, only for him to come back in there and do some more. So, yeah, that was pretty interesting.
Hats off to Jelly Roll. Hats off to him, and hats off to Logan and Drew for helping carry him through the match at that. Because that somebody coming in that's green as Jelly Roll is, I mean, as much as we like to give Logan Paul some flack for being a celebrity and being a prick and all kinds of other stuff, I mean, he's outside of Bad Bunny, he's probably been the most successful celebrity that's come through WWE and actually is making a career out of it at that. I mean, the guy is not shabby in the ring. I know there's some content creators that like to crap on Logan Paul because he likes to do the buckshot lariat and all kinds of other stuff. But, I mean, I want to speak on that real quick. So just because somebody's doing the buckshot lariat does not mean he's trashing the ring. How many of these people out there doing the tombstone? The tombstone used to be the most protected finisher in wrestling. And now everybody out there is doing the tombstone. Mm-hmm. They're not the Undertaker. Is anybody crapping on them for using the tombstone? Absolutely not. Mm-hmm. Is anybody crapping on these wrestlers out there using a super kick? Absolutely not. So I wish people will stop crapping on Logan Paul for using the buckshot lariat because there's only so many moves that you can do as a professional wrestler. So if you can add something like the buckshot lariat to your repertoire, why not? To me, that's more of a big ups to Hangman Page than a crap talking issue for Logan Paul. That's him. To me, that's him saying, you know what, I really like this. I really like how you do it. I want to try it too.
Well, here's the thing, right? And I'm glad you said that. So here's the thing, right? Did he ask for Hangman Page's blessing? Because I think that's where the argument starts. You know, as far as him using the move, did he ask for Hangman's blessing? I know Hangman don't necessarily own the move, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I haven't seen nobody else do that buckshot lariat in wrestling. Maybe there is a few people that have done it, but I have not seen anybody do the buckshot lariat. The only person that I've seen that's come close to doing something like that, and he was actually doing the move before anybody else was Rob Van Dam, which is called the Rolling Thunder, which he got one version where he rolls and then he goes right into a clothesline. Then he got another version where the Rolling Thunder, he rolls and then he do like a senton. It's the only other person that I've seen that do something close to that. Other than that, you know, I have not seen nobody else do it. If you know a person, comment below and let us know, because I have not seen anybody do it. Have you?
No, and to speak on that, it was like, has these same people doing the tombstone, have they asked the Undertaker for permission? Because you remember when he did one of his interviews, he said Kane asked for permission to copy his moves, like the tombstone and the choke slam. So we know it's done, but are these like I see it both ways, right? Did Logan Paul ask for permission to use it? We don't know. We don't know. Will we ever know? Who knows? But are these same people that are using the tombstone, did they contact Mark Calloway? Hey, do you mind if we use the tombstone? So I look at it both ways.
Yeah, it probably didn't. They probably didn't. But what I'm saying is that you know how the fans are in the IWC. You know that's the main reason why, because most of them only seen Hangman Page do it, and then when somebody else do it, it kind of put more eyes on what Hangman Page does, and it kind of made people look at it like, oh, whose buckshot lariat is better? You know what I'm saying? It's just like when Logan Paul said he's the only one that does that springboard backflip that he does
Oh
off the
yeah,
ropes.
yeah.
He said that, but he's not the only one that's done that. That's a luchador move. All the luchadors have done that at least 3 or 4 times more. I've seen Carmelo Hayes do it. And Carmelo Hayes is not a luchador. I've seen what's the name for the Street Profits do it. I've seen
Montez.
Montez Ford do it. So, I mean, hey, man, you know, none of these moves have ownership rights on them. You know, so basically, like anybody could basically grab these moves and do what they choose. You know, so
I say people just need to get over it.
yeah.
Next match we had Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill. I'll be honest with you, I didn't. First off, it was too short, and I really just didn't care for it. I don't think Tiffany's a good wrestler personally, and Jade Cargill still has a ways to go before she's ready. So I think they actually made the right call by keeping the belt on Tiffany, but it's just a matter of time before she loses it, because I don't think she's gotten any better in the ring, honestly.
All right, so here's my opinion, and I hear what you're saying. First I want to talk about Jade, right? Jade, to me, in that particular match, she did pretty good. I do have to say, she did pretty good. And I believe we talked about this. I talked about this on Ladybugs Live, right? And a lot of people mentioned it too. The problem is, like, with Jade, she didn't go to no NXT. She never went to any type of training besides what she had in AEW. And Exhausted on the panel, he pointed this out too. And it's made a lot of sense now that I think about it. And I believe OVW point this out too. Both of them said that AEW, as far as a booking standpoint, they protected Jade better than WWE has. And then when I looked at it, I was like, wait a minute, I don't know about that. Because they showcased everything, from her star power, whatever. But from a wrestling aspect, they haven't really protected her too well. The matches are too long. So I think they made the right call. I mean, it was kind of a little too short. I think they could have made it a teeny weeny bit longer, but I think they made the right call as for the match being shortened a little bit. But at the same time, too, I feel like when it comes to PLEs, they should be really longer. And then when she wrestles on a SmackDown on Monday Night Raw, then it's good to like make those matches a little bit shorter. They kind of took the Goldberg route on AEW with Jade, and she's, with the whole streak and stuff like that. I feel like in order for Jade to be successful, they need to make her a monster heel. She has that look for a reason, so make her a dominant heel. Make her destroy everybody. You know what I mean? Big, small, doesn't matter. Make her that person. You know what I mean? Make her like they booked Nia Jax. When Nia Jax first came up to that main roster, she was running through everybody.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She was running through everybody. Book her like that. Book her exactly like that. Short matches, but devastating finishes. Book her like that. And then save that long, extensive matches, 12 minutes, whatever, for the PLEs. That's what I think they should do. Because I brought it up, right?
I'd understand that, I feel like the big four pay-per-views, if you're going to have a championship match, it does need to be longer. WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, and a Royal Rumble. All the other pay-per-views like Clash in Paris, okay, I could understand that it would be a short match, okay, because those are one-night events. They're actually I thought I heard that they may be making the Royal Rumble a 2-night event soon too. So I'm like, if you're going to be having the big pay-per-views be a 2-night events, then there's no reason for especially championship matches to be short. I think they said that match was like 5 or 6 minutes long.
Yeah.
That is too short. I'm sorry. That is too short. I mean, more along the 10 to 15 minute range, okay, I could get that. But 5 to 6 minutes, that is entirely too short.
Yeah.
That's my opinion and my opinion only, people.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. I agree with you on that standpoint. Like, if it was 5 or 6 minutes on a PLE, that was a little bit too short. It should have been a little bit longer for the PLEs and save that 5 or 6 minutes for the regular shows. I think,
or even something like a Clash in Paris. Like, that's only going to be a one-night event. So if you're going to have those one-night events, okay, I understand 5, 6, 7 minutes for a match. But on these pay-per-views or these PLEs where they're 2 nights, there's no reason for it.
Yeah, I agree. When you say it like that, I hear what you're saying. Yeah. So what's next on the...
It was a Karrion Kross and Sami Zayn. Oh. Let me say this, bro. Mm-hmm. I felt like Karrion Kross should have won that. Now I feel like Karrion Kross is leaving. They haven't even acknowledged Karrion Kross since that match. Yeah. And I don't know if you noticed, they showed a video. I saw it on either X or TikTok where somebody had video cameraed them leaving the ring and they were waving bye to the fans and shaking hands, like almost like that was their last call. And then you notice they wasn't even brought up tonight on Raw at all. So I think first off, I think they did him wrong. They had a chance to capitalize on that after WrestleMania, and they just didn't. I don't think Sammy needed that win. He really didn't. Karrion Kross needed that win, but they went with the safe bet and went with Sammy, which leads me to believe that Kross and Scarlett are gone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a heavy loss if they're gonna let Cross walk. Yeah, it's a heavy loss. But you know where he gonna flourish at if they decide to pick him up. Two places he could flourish at. He could flourish in TNA because he has been in TNA before, or he could flourish in AEW. His style of wrestling fits either one of those brands. Either one of those brands he could go to, and he could be himself too. I definitely think that he's probably going to end up in AEW because if they let him walk, I don't know if he has the clause on his contract where he has to wait 90 days. I don't know what he got, but if they let him walk, trust and believe. We don't be surprised if you see him on Dynamite or Collision. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be a heavy loss. That's going to be a heavy loss.
I honestly wish they would have just let him go back to NXT and let him battle with Obafemi. Let him battle with Trick Williams. You know, if you're gonna put him in TNA, you might as well just resign him and let him go battle down at NXT because that's what TNA is doing. They're battling with NXT, so you might as well just resign him, let him go battle against NXT with TNA, right? And then maybe he can be the one to take the belt off of Trick if they don't let Mike Santana do it. Maybe he could be the one to push Oba. I mean, because truth be told, we haven't really seen Oba push since the triple threat with Trick Williams and that Eddie Thorpe dude. We really haven't seen or Wesley. Like we really haven't seen him push. Like imagine him and Cross going. Oh, he got pushed with Moose too. With Moose, I can't forget about Moose.
He got pushed with Moose, and he got pushed with the one boy that teams up with the other dude that wrestles like JBL. I forgot his name, but he got pushed from that guy. I forgot his name, but he's pretty good. He got pushed with him. The problem is with NXT and Obafemi defending. Like, there's really nobody down there for him to wrestle. Like, he beat Jasper Troy. He got pushed by Jasper Troy. Jasper Troy almost beat him. Remember Jasper Troy, Booker T's protege? Jasper Troy almost beat him. He got pushed by Jasper, but then after that, he hasn't had no, like, formidable opponents since then. So, it's like, you know what I mean, how much longer is he going to spend down there? Because there's really no matches for him down there anymore. Like, he's ran through the whole entire roster. He's doing a Gunther.
That's why I feel like a Cross would have been perfect to go down there. Okay, you're not going to use him on Raw or SmackDown. Let him go down there and push some of these young guys like an Obafemi. I think that would have been no pun intended, a killer match.
Yeah. I think that would have been a dope match too. You know, I think their styles will match up well. Yeah, but hey, you know, like you said, you know what I mean. We'll see what happens moving forward. You know, hopefully, Cross can get something out of this whole situation.
Yeah, we'll I guess we'll see, man. Like I feel bad for Cross because he did whatever he could to get himself put over with the promo after WrestleMania to starting his own podcast. I mean, it kind of throws you for a loop too because they were even promoting his book. They promoted his book, so I'm like, what are y'all doing? Like, if you keep him, use him. People want to see him. You heard it. You heard it at the little interview after SummerSlam. We won't cross. We won't cross. Like, utilize that. People want to see him.
Apparently, Triple H didn't hear because he thought they wanted Brock. He said Brock. He was like, yeah, you got him. You got him. He's back. Come on, bro. You know exactly what they were chanting, bro. Stop it. Stop it.
Man. I don't know, bro. I don't know what to think about this. Maybe they'll swerve us again, and he's actually staying with the company. Who knows?
We'll see. We'll see.
And then we had the main event: Gunther and CM Punk.
Where do I start?
I'll let you take it.
Where do I start? That match was rough. Not rough in a bad way. Rough like these guys. Gunther was throwing haymakers at Punk. Like, let me tell you something. Like, I never seen Punk get dominated like that before in my whole entire life of watching wrestling, watching him wrestle. Like, they showed highlights. He really, really, really was beating the crap out of Punk. Like, he was really, really trashing Punk. Now, I know Punk won at the end, and I know this is part of the booking to make Gunther look supremely strong. That seems like that's been the booking for I don't know how long, which is good for his character because he really showed that he's the ring general. But I mean, damn. The chops, the slams, the punches, the brutalization that was displayed in this match. It was almost reminiscent of Gunther versus Dragunov. When him and Dragunov went at it, they definitely went at it toe-to-toe. Dragunov came off as the victor, dethroning Gunther and taking the UK championship. But the match was brutal. It was same thing with that, except he dominated most of that match. Punk had his moments. Don't get me wrong, he had his moments. But a good majority of that match, the ring general was just he was like Godzilla. He was like Godzilla on there, and he was stepping on everything Punk was throwing at him. You know, Punk had these little flurries here and there, but Gunther was just like I'm the final boss. He took The Rock's moniker and said, I'm the final boss. I'm the best in the world. And then he was talking trash to him when he's throwing them forearms. You see when he had him on he was beating the crap out of him, and he was talking mad trash like he was strictly deboing him. Like, I was like, yo, he's going to hurt. No, you do know this man got a wife, right? You need to calm down. Relax, bro. I was like, damn, he's trashing Punk. But yeah, man, Punk ended up winning, but we know what happened after that.
You was talking about how he was brutalizing, bro. He was chopping his chest so hard, his chest started to bleed.
Oh, man.
His chest started to bleed. Now, I am one to believe that one of two things is going to happen, right? So for those that don't know, Gunther is scheduled to be out for a little bit because he's having something done with his nose. He's been having problems with his nose. So he's going to be out for a bit. One of two things is going to happen. One, he's going to go to SmackDown and he's going to challenge Cody when he comes back. Two, when he comes back, if he's on Raw, there will be hell to pay for CM Punk and Seth Rollins. Because I hope and pray that when Gunther comes back, they book him as the most monstrous heel. He's going to be so pissed off that not only did he lose his belt to CM Punk, just for 5 minutes later for Seth Rollins to come take it. I hope they book him like a monster, kind of like what they did with his Intercontinental title run. Just a monster of a heel, unstoppable force.
I think that's exactly
that's what I want for him. I hope so.
I think that's exactly what's going to happen. I do like the whole him versus Cody type of match, even though they face each other already. I do like that match happening again. But Gunther is so versatile. He can wrestle anybody and make it good. He can wrestle anybody and make it a good match. And they brought up a fact that is true. 80% of his matches Gunther wins. And 80% of his matches he has a title around his waist. So his win-loss record is like iconic. It's similar to what a Brock Lesnar's win-loss record was. It's similar to that. So
I would like to say this to all you guys out there. They're saying that Triple H and WWE TKO has buried Gunther. You're wrong. I don't think they buried Gunther. I think he lost to CM Punk because they knew that he was going to be gone for some time to get his whatever's going on with his nose fixed. Otherwise, I think he wins that match.
Yeah, so do I.
And otherwise, we don't get a cash in from Seth because Seth has made it his mission that as long as he's there, CM Punk will not be champion.
Mm-hmm.
So if Gunther wins the match, I think that he ultimately cashes in on Cody Cena.
Mm-hmm.
That's my opinion. Unless Seth Rollins just wants a piece of the ring general, which, I mean, I wouldn't want to face a pissed off ring general.
Well, I think what's going to end up happening is we're going to get a lot of rematches. A lot of rematches are going to come up. And I definitely think that at some point in time, like we're going to see Gunther versus Rollins. We're going to see Gunther versus Bronson Reed. We're going to see Gunther versus Breaker, Braun Breaker. We're going to see those matches. They're bound to happen. They're bound to happen at some point in time, and we're going to get the rematches. We're going to see him and Cody. So we're just going to have to wait and see.
I have grown to like Gunther.
Me too.
I really have. Like at first I was like, man, he gets on my nerves. But like the more I've watched, the more he's gotten better on his promos. Like his English has gotten a lot better. Like the way he came after Goldberg, even on X, like, bro, I have actually grown to really like Gunther. And like I said, I hope they book him as a monstrous heel when he comes back. He doesn't need Kaiser. Although having Kaiser there, I think helps him. Makes him look more like a monstrous heel. But even if they don't have Ludwig Kaiser with him, he's still got to be that monstrous heel.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I agree with you on that. I agree, but Kaiser's on his own path as we see right now. So we're just gonna have to see what happens. Like I said,
What'd you think about the cash in?
Can I say diabolical? When this man came out, I said, okay, he's just coming out the gloat to let him know it's just a matter of time before he comes after the title. He's just not going to win because he's injured at the moment. But then when he took off the brace and dropped the crutches, I was like, oh, you son of a you-know-what. I was like, I wish I had stuck to my guns and just was like, yeah, he's swerving everybody because nobody knew the time frame he was going to come back. There were so many signs that was pointing to he's swerving, folks. But when he started using those crutches outside of wrestling, he's walking with those crutches. I was like, yeah, man, he probably is injured. I mean, he made this a part of his life for a few weeks just to do that. That's crazy. And that's dedication. That's kayfabe to the 1,000th power. That's what that was, So,
I agree. People say, "Oh, we saw that coming a mile away." I don't care if you saw it coming or not. Like me personally, I was swerved because I really thought that he was injured too. I'm like,
mm-hmm.
well, why would they do that? Why would they just make somebody fake an injury? And it's like you say, he dropped the crutches, turned around, took that knee brace off, took the jacket off. I was like, oh, see you, Punk. You done, bruh.
Yeah, I was
You
like,
done.
yeah, that title's going bye-bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, that title's going bye-bye. Yep.
So what grade would you give night one of SummerSlam?
Night one of SummerSlam actually was, for me personally, night one of SummerSlam was my I would say it was my favorite. It was I have it over night two because of the whole cash in, because of the Gunther match. There's a lot of things that for me personally I liked on night one. So I would give night one a B minus. I give it a B minus for night one.
That's generous for you.
Yeah, because I'll be going in when they be doing what they do. That's why I said I'm not biased. I gotta give credit when credit's due. So I give it a B minus. I give it B minus to night one. Yeah.
I gave night one a C.
Okay.
The women's match was too short. I don't think either one of them are solid enough in the ring just yet. Mm-hmm. I didn't like the Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross match. I wasn't a big fan of that at all. To me, Gunther, CM Punk, and the cash in and the opening match is what saved night one. So I gave it an average grade, a C.
Okay. All right. Not bad for a start off for night one. A B and a C. Okay. We averaged out. Yeah. So what about night two? Let's see what night two is working for. Let's run through that.
Naomi, Io, and Rhea kicked off the show. Mm-hmm. I personally, I thought the Bianca Rhea Io match was better, but I really enjoyed the match. Mm-hmm. Really did. Each woman got to show off, and in the end, Naomi kept her belt. That's all I wanted. I wanted a good match, and I wanted Naomi to keep her belt.
And that she did. She definitely kept her belt. When they showed something with her cutting a promo afterwards when she was with these two other women. Now, I don't know if those two other women are wrestlers. I don't know if they're actually forming a faction, but it just was a cool look for both women. I've never seen those women before. I don't know if they were wrestlers or not, but if they was to start a faction with Naomi, I think the faction definitely should be look like that, and just call the faction Proceed with Caution. Having a bunch of crazy women just going diabolically ham on everybody they come in contact with. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that I wouldn't mind seeing that. But yeah, she did her thing. She did her thing. I didn't like though how they were commentating on her just a bit. I felt like more of the commentating led towards Rhea and Io Sky than it did on Naomi, even though Naomi is the champion. I thought they could have did better on that. Like, I know it's a historical thing. I know the two wrestlers in the ring are very decorated, but so is Naomi. She's very decorated too in her own right. You know what I mean? She did something that two of those wrestlers never did. She had a TNA championship, women's title. And she held the title for a very long time too. It wasn't like she just held the title for some crimpets and coffee. She had the title for a minute. She wrestled Jordan Grace. She wrestled some of the toughest competition TNA had to offer, and she was victorious. So I'm like, man, put some respect on Naomi's name. Stop playing with that girl, man. Put some respect on her name.
Either put some respect on her name or proceed with caution.
For sure.
Next match, we had the 6-pack TLC match. The Wyatt Six, Street Profits, the Motor City Machine Guns, Fraxium, DIY, and Andrade and Rey Fenix. That match was wild. That was a wild match. Now, I know this match happened while we were talking with Zay Vega, but I did have it on in the background. That match was wild. At the end, the YS6 kept the titles, and I had a feeling that they were going to keep it. Shout out to 13 Thoughts. He actually made a good point. He stated that they're going to want the YS6 to at least hold the titles until at least Halloween, because they are opening up some kind of Halloween thing at I want to say Disney World or Universal Studios, and they're going to have the YS6 there. So they're at least going to have the titles at least until Halloween. So I wasn't at all surprised that the YS6 won, not just because of that, but because they literally just got the titles. So I didn't see them dropping them. I feel like they could have done better by the Street Profits. I mean, if they were going to have them lose the title, I feel like it could have waited until SummerSlam. But they lost them early.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that. Them holding the titles until Halloween, because I heard about that when it was mentioned. So yeah, it was a wild match. Definitely a wild match. Everybody wanted the Street Profits to get their title back, but it didn't happen. So I'm wondering what's going to happen with the Street Profits moving forward.
I feel like they should move them to Raw. Somebody's got to go over there to help elevate the Raw tag team division over there. And I feel like them and maybe the Motor City Machine Guns would look good over there in Raw, challenging the Judgment Day for those titles. Or even DIY. But they need at least 2 teams from SmackDown to go over and help elevate the tag team division in Raw.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see if that ever happens. Yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah. Well,
next match on the docket was the Women's Intercontinental title match. Becky Lynch and Lyra. I'm kind of upset because my girl Lyra didn't bring us home the title. But now it looks like we're going to get Becky Lynch and Nikki Bella. Not to get off topic. Did you see that promo? Diabolical. That was diabolical.
See, you could tell Nikki Bella was like, what? That, even though they probably went over and rehearsed that a few times and she was expecting it, that still hit. That still hit. That was definitely that was a hit to the gut. Like a nice, strong gut punch. Yeah, it was. Becky versus Nikki Bella. Let's see what happens. I don't want to go too far in and start, ranting about let's just see what happens. That's all. Yeah.
Becky, we know Becky won. By some untimely interference from Bayley. Yeah, so I thought that they would try to set up Bayley and Becky going one-on-one instead of a triple threat like they had at Evolution when it was them two plus Lyra.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe Lyra gets her get back on Bayley, and then that starts a huge feud. But all in all, Becky got the win. Bayley interfered. Excuse me. Accidentally hitting Lyra. Match over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it was all right match. It wasn't bad. You know, I was a little bit in between with it. You know, so let's just see what happens with the story as it continues. That's all.
And then we had Solo and Jacob for the U.S. title in a cage match.
Where can I start with this? All right, so for me, Jacob Fatu doing that backflip off the cage was crazy. I've been telling you guys from the jump that this dude is not wired right. This dude is crazy, for real. This dude is crazy. They don't call him the Samoan werewolf for nothing. He's been doing stuff like this since the Indies, and people are just in awe that a guy of his stature could move like that. It's not surprising to me because I've been watching him for years, so I know what he's capable of. I'm talking about a guy that took a grown man, held the man over his head like a warrior press, and threw him into a crowd, and he hit the gate and claps to the... If you want to see that video, go to my TikTok. Go to my TikTok and you see that myself, and you see it yourself. Video got thousands of views. The dude is nuts. Okay? I'm trying to remember. Solo retained that title. I don't want to say that was a bad move. I don't want to say it was. I do think Jacob will eventually get back the title, or he will move on to the main event scene, because I did hear rumors of that. I just don't know when.
Triple H did say that just because he lost doesn't mean anything. He said that Jacob Fatu is going to bigger and better things.
Well, there you have it.
What does that mean? We shall see. I honestly thought, okay, they took the belt off of Jacob. This is going to be his shining moment to get the belt back. With the help of Tala Tonga, Solo was able to escape the ring.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's going on with Tama Tonga. I don't know if his injury was just that serious. I figured he was going to come back, but side with Jimmy and Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, we didn't get that, and it was just Jimmy. Jimmy came out, tried to help, did what he could, but all in all, the MFTs was just too much, and Solo got to retain the belt. I'm not mad at it. Especially if it's true that Jacob is going on to bigger and better things. I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, that's true. I definitely agree. with you. Yeah. So
Then we had Dominic Mysterio versus AJ Styles. That was a fun match to me. That was fun. With all the references to Eddie, that was so fun to me.
Yeah. I definitely think, though, that AJ should have picked up the victory if they are planning on Dominic doing the AAA thing. I definitely think that AJ should have picked up the victory, but I think eventually he will pick up the victory against Dominic, and then we'll see Dominic on the AAA promotion at some point in time. But yeah, it was a great tribute to Eddie Guerrero. They came in a low rider. It was more of a tribute with AJ than it was Dominic. But Dominic's been sending tributes to Eddie since he started wrestling. He's been doing it. He even dresses like the guy. He looks relatively like Eddie Guerrero
Get the
on
mullet.
purpose, by the way. So, yeah, man, it was a good match. It was all right. It was okay.
I thought that they were going to have AJ win just because of how long he's been chasing after Dominic. But to see, after watching Raw, to see that the chase isn't over, you're probably right. They're going to put the belt on AJ Styles. Honestly, I would have liked to see the Judgment Day split up and see Finn Balor take it off of him, honestly. But if it's going to be AJ, then maybe Finn can actually challenge AJ and we can get another classic match before AJ retires between him and Finn.
Yeah. Yeah, that could
And for
possibly
all
be.
you AEW people that are wishing and hoping and praying that AJ goes to AEW, I hope you realize it is not happening. He just signed a 1-year extension. Dude is almost 50 years old. He's said it over and over and over again. He is going to retire with the WWE.
Well, yeah, I definitely could say, yeah, he did do that. But also, we have to also understand too that a lot of times when wrestlers say stuff, man, they don't actually fall through with it all the time. I'm not saying AJ's going to, but I mean most of the people that he's cool with is in AEW.
I only say that because the main reason why he's saying that he's going to retire at WWE because he said he's missed so much family time that he feels it's only right that he retires with the WWE and gets to spend as much time that he wants with his family and just retire from wrestling. I
Yeah,
mean, we both have families, so sometimes when I'm having to work late or whatever, and I miss stuff, like I feel like a terrible dad. You know what I mean? My wife is having to do everything while I'm stuck at work. Because with the job that I do, especially in the wintertime, there are times I don't get home to 10, 11 o'clock at night.
yeah, same here, man. Same here. I think family time is very, very important. Even with this content creating space, you see where we at right now. It's a grind. It takes away time. You're working, then you gotta worry about what content you're gonna put together. Just that, it's a grind. And what you people gotta understand is too, like, you don't make monetization right away. I mean, some people get lucky and they get the opportunity to get to that quick, depending on the content they put out. But most of the time, 99.9% of the time, you don't make monetization right away. Like, it
Mm-mm.
takes time. Because I know a lot of content creators like, yeah, I'm going to be rich and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and yada yada. No, no, no. It don't work like that. It don't work like
Mm-mm.
that. It's a grind. Like, you see us out here, this is late. It's late at night. We're tired. Our families are sleeping right now. We're in here grinding. So just imagine a professional wrestler. You understand? They're working 300 and what is it? 300 and something days a year,
Mm-hmm.
including the PLEs, including the house shows, including the TV shows, including appearances. Like, that's a lot of time away from your family, you
It
know?
really is.
Yeah, so yeah, I get it. I was only was saying that because most of his friends are in AEW, but like I said, man, if he feeling that his time is near and it's about to be up, then let him do his thing, give him his flowers, and let him go off into the sunset. Yeah,
I agree. I agree. Um, I've always liked AJ Styles, like
me
AJ
too.
Styles all the way back to the TNA days.
Me
So
too.
I mean, he's I think Zay Vega said it last night. AJ Styles is this generation Shawn Michaels.
He definitely is. He definitely is. Like he's if we talking about wrestling goats, he's one of my wrestling goats. I have a lot of wrestling goats for the class that they're in, the style and everything. He's one of my wrestling goats. I have petitioned for AJ plenty of times, and I've put him over plenty of wrestlers. So yeah, I mean, if he decides that this is his time and he's done, you know what I mean, salute to him because he's had a marvelous career. Salute to him.
And then, of course, we ended night 2 with a generational, I'm going to say it, generational John Cena Cody Rhodes match. And I say that because it's been a while since we've seen John Cena put on that kind of match.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was a classic John Cena match.
Mm-hmm.
And not for nothing, people been crapping on Cody Rhodes. I thought it was a good Cody Rhodes match. I thought all in all that was match of the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Even before the return, I thought that was match of the weekend. Now I did think whenever John gave Cody the belt and gave him a hug and started whispering in his ear, I thought we was gonna see Cody turn on that diabolical smile and pay him back for what he did at WrestleMania. Was that no? That was the Elimination Chamber. My bad. Elimination
I thought
Chamber.
he was going to do it too. I wish he did. That would have been crazy.
Oh man, can you imagine the pop that would have got? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think he's eventually going to do it though. Something's going to happen.
People have been wanting him to do that since AEW.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to eventually happen. I don't think. I think WWE is going to allow him to do it at some point in time, and people got to understand that Cody Rhodes is not going to be a John Cena. Cody Rhodes is going to be a Cody Rhodes. You know what I'm saying? And he is going to do some remarkable things as a heel.
He said he was going to be diabolical as a heel.
If y'all haven't seen his heel stuff on the indies, then y'all in for a treat. I know y'all seen his heel stuff in WWE. Dashing Cody Rhodes, him with the mirror, nah. That's nothing compared to what I've seen him do on the indies. Well, if he brings that Cody Rhodes to WWE, trust and believe, y'all in for a treat. Trust and believe.
Yeah, I definitely thought that was match of the night or of the weekend. It was nice to see a classic John Cena match, you know, and it was nice to see Cody Rhodes step up and let him have a classic John Cena match for old time's sake. Because, like I said, it's been a while since we've seen it. So good on Cody for allowing that to happen. Good on John for actually pulling through with it.
Mm-hmm.
But we all know the elephant in the room.
Yes, we do.
We all know the elephant in the room.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
We got the return of the one and only Beast, Brock Lesnar. Now, you want to go first or you want me to go?
Now you go, bro. You cooking. You go.
Okay. Now, I understand that his name is still involved in this case with Vince McMahon. I get it. But I personally did not have a problem at all with the return.
Okay.
I didn't. Number one, if you are going to allow John Cena to go out how he wants to go out, you can't keep Brock Lesnar away. And rumor has it, it was John Cena that requested it. So, of course, they're not just going to allow Brock Lesnar to show up without getting clearance from WWE TKO's legal team. It was WWE TKO's legal team that gave the okay. It was for people that think it was Triple H. It wasn't Triple H. It was the legal team. If the legal team thought it was a bad idea or that it shouldn't be done, I guarantee you it wouldn't have gotten done, and they would have just had to explain to John Cena, sorry, we can't do it at this time. But I feel like you cannot have John Cena retire without Brock Lesnar. I also feel like you can't have John Cena retire without another run with AJ Styles and without another run with Edge. But we know we're not going to get Edge because of where he's at.
We get the Miz.
I guess he'll get to avenge that loss at WrestleMania.
Get the Miz. Yeah, get the Miz. Yep.
But I personally didn't have a problem with Brock Lesnar showing up. And let me tell you something. They did a damn good job of keeping that a surprise. Because I expected to hear, if you smell. I didn't expect to hear that little thing that plays before Brock Lesnar music hits. That was Brock Lesnar's music was the furthest thing from my mind.
Yeah, I didn't expect him to come back neither. I wasn't expecting that either. That caught me off guard for sure. I didn't expect it.
Hats off to them for keeping that secret.
Yeah. My opinion is this, and I hear where you're coming from. I definitely hear where you're coming from. But all business is not good business. And all publicity is not good publicity. And I'm going to tell you why. Because, like, with him being still involved in this case, now mind you, I will say this, and I know it's a sensitive topic, but I will say this. That woman's a grown woman. She's also responsible for her own actions. We can't act like that woman is a baby. But at the same time, too, we cannot act like these men that were involved, you know what I'm saying, weren't involved. You know what I mean? Brock Lesnar was involved in some capacity. You know what I'm saying? Whether he did something with her or not, he was involved in some capacity. I would think that until it was completely clear, that's when they were involved, Brock. But they decided to go the other route. And there's a lot of documentation out there saying that there's going to be hell to pay as far as them doing that. You know, I've seen a lot of stuff that I don't know how these fans get their hands on information like this. Like, I mean, I've literally seen papers of this. I don't know how they get their hands on this type of work. I don't know if it's the publicist of Grant that's putting out this stuff. I don't know. But they're getting their hands on documentation and they're doing their own research, and there's a lot of stuff out there. So I'm going to say this, right, before we end off, right? If you're going to allow Brock Lesnar to return with all this controversy that's going on with him, right?
I know where you're going.
Then there's one person out there who we know is innocent. Like, there's nothing out there. There's no pending anything that should be in the WWE. And that's the name Odyssey Jones. Odyssey Jones should be back in the WWE. Okay? Odyssey didn't even get an opportunity to fill them seats, to have a fan base. They took it from underneath his feet. They pulled the rug from under him after being accused of something that there's no proof that he did. There's no proof. It was accusations. So if we're going to get this man up out of there for accusations and then see that he was proven innocent, then we got to do the most loyal and honorable thing and bring him back to WWE and let him repeat what he tried to do when he came up to the main roster. You know what I'm saying? I understand business. I know Brock is a draw. Odyssey Jones didn't even get a chance to be a draw. He didn't get a chance to do none of that. They just took it from him. So I'm saying, WWE, do the honorable thing for once And stop thinking about the dollars and think about what you could do with this man in the near future if you decide to bring him back. Because trust and believe, even if you didn't have Brock Lesnar, you still going to make your money regardless. So it can be all about money, but then again it is because he's a draw. He fills them seats. But Odyssey Jones didn't even get a chance to do that. So that's my take on that.
And I agree with you. I agree with you. There's another name that is floating around is Velveteen Dream. I also would like to see him back, but I have a hard time believing that they're going to bring him back, especially after the stuff that he's said and on the Tiki Talks and all his Tiki Talks that are floating around there about the company.
Mm-hmm.
But never say never, because we see who's back after 10 years. CM Punk. And we all know he shit excuse my language, but that's exactly what he did. He shit all over WWE for 10 years. Even when he got to AEW, he was still doing it. So if you can bring back CM Punk after crapping on your company for 10 years, you can give Velveteen Dream also, along with Odyssey Jones, another chance.
Yep. That's how I feel about that. Yeah.
It's only right. It's only right. Now, I completely understand where you're coming from. I do. And I'm not going to argue with you about it or anything because I completely understand. And I agree. If you can bring back Brock Lesnar and he's still in a case, his name is still tied up in a case, you can bring back CM Punk, who crapped all over your company for 10 plus years. You can bring back Odyssey Jones, who was free and clear. You can bring back Velveteen Dream, who is also free and clear. Let's do it. Make it fair. Fair for everyone.
Yep. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying for sure. Yeah.
I get it.
So, any closing remarks?
As a whole, I thought SummerSlam was a pretty good show. I honestly thought it was. I said it in the beginning. I'll say it again. I thought it was better than this year's WrestleMania. I will go and say it's the second best PLE that WWE has had behind Evolution. All in all, I gave Night 2 an A.
Oh, okay.
I gave Night 2 an A. Not just because of the Cena and Cody match. I just thought the matches as a whole were better than the matches of Night 1. I gave it an A, which if I gave Night 1 an A and if I gave Night 1 a C and I gave Night 2 an A, I think that comes out of a B. Mm-hmm. So a B grade, that's not bad because I think I gave WrestleMania like a C minus, and I think you did even worse than that.
Yeah. All in all, I give Night 2. I actually give Night 2 a B minus, only because of the shock value that happened with Brock Lesnar returning, and the whole output of what happened with John Cena and Cody, which was a great match. I mean, that's it. I gotta be fair. I wanted to give it a C, actually. I really did want to give it a C, but considering the fact that it was shocking for Brock to return, I had to boost it up to a B. So, 2 B minuses ain't that bad. You can live with that.
So you got a B from your boy, and Old Man River up there gave the show a B minus.
Yeah, so all in all, it was a pretty solid PLE. I do hope that they be fair and, try to see if they could bring back those two guys or at least one of them. I think Odyssey Jones will probably be the fair bet because of, he has not said nothing since his departure. He's kept his mouth shut. I'm not saying Velveteen should not return. He should return because people have said a lot worse than what Velveteen has said. That's for sure. So, but I mean, hey, man, we'll see what happens. Yeah.
And one last thing, I want everybody to say it with me. Happy birthday, Bars.
Thank you.
Just in case we don't talk before your birthday, I'm sure we will. But I think this is going to be our last recording for the week. So everybody say it with me. Happy birthday, Bars.
I appreciate it, folks. I appreciate it. Yeah, my birthday's coming up this week, and like I said, no, don't try to throw that what you call that senior citizen status on me yet. I still got years to go. Still got a few more years to go. I'm good. Yeah, my birthday's coming up, so we've been working so hard, and I've been pushing myself to the outer limits, just to see us succeed. And my brother over here has been doing the same thing. So, I just want to just take a breather for a bit just to recalibrate and rejuvenate my spirits, because I don't want to burn myself out, because I have been burned out from making this content a lot this year because there's so much going on. And basically, I just want to spend time with the family, I want to be around my kids, my wife, things like that, and, I want to just do the normal guy thing, like do stuff, because I've been locked in the studio so much trying to bust out this content for y'all, trying to make sure that we good. We've been both working so hard. We went through the trials and tribulations of, a certain thing that happened. We got over that hump, and now we're trying to push forward, and just make this content. As you can see, like, the look is crispy, is solid, and we try to keep it that way. We try to keep it that way for y'all. So
absolutely. Like, not only are we going to our day-to-day jobs every day, but we're trying to make sure we put out the best content possible. And then this guy up here, he's back in school. So, there's a lot going on. There's a lot on our plates, but, the grind don't stop. But we're going to take a break for the rest of this week so my brother up here can celebrate his birthday, and we can both spend time with the family. And then we'll pick back up, and I guess next week.
And next week, I believe it's next week, we got Jocelyn Navarro on the show. I think that's August 12th, right?
Yeah, August 12th, Jocelyn Navarro at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, 8:30 Central.
So we got Ashe's own Jocelyn Navarro on the show. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. The flyer will be out very soon. It should have been out already, actually, but we're going to have it out for y'all. But we letting you all know, we giving you a heads up. Jocelyn Navarro will be on the show next week, as we continue to get every single Ashe wrestler we possibly can on the show. Like we said, that promotion deserves all the promotion they can get. You understand what I'm saying? So make sure you be on the lookout for that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Shout out to Ashe Wrestling. If it wasn't for you, we may not see too many of us on TV. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Ashe.
For sure, definitely. Well, it's the Tag Team Champions of Podcasting. We will be back with another one. Got Bars Wrestling Media, and you see the man down there saluting the dynamic Darkwing Dub. We'll be back with another one. Ring Ropes and Turnbuckles.
Following podcast scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, they are the Internet Podcast.